welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, we're going to discuss Chapter 6 of The Magic of Thinking Big, which discusses you are what you think you are. So how do you know who you are? You know who you are through two things, your thoughts and your actions. Your thoughts dictate your actions, so ultimately you know who you are through your thoughts. A lot of us are very unconscious of the thoughts that go through us each day. Young men, for instance, will claim to be very, very confident, but yet when they see a nice looking young lady, they cannot go up and say hi. People will tend to, man or woman in this next case, will tend to try to say, I'm going to apply for a job. But then when they go to apply, they realize that they're too scared. They don't realize that the root of that fear is that they think they're inadequate. They think that they don't have the prerequisites for that said job. And this is a very, very big problem. As stated in this book, it's about 80% of people are pretty much non-essential when it comes to society and in our economic system. And that means because of their lack of belief, they're very much useless in our society. And that sounds very cold and very rude for me to say, but it's unfortunately very true. The people that are producing value in the market are the people that are producing results. And the people that get results, the people that get paid. So if you're somebody that's able to get paid through producing some sort of value, whether to a company, to people, through a service, or managing your own money and making it work for you, you're going to be a very rich person. But in every situation that you're in, through your family, your friends, yourself, provide value. All right, so there's 4 important steps to improve your self-worth and also improve how you think of yourself. Because the very first thing you got to understand is how you think is how you act. When you understand that, you realize that you have to think in a specific way, and that's going to determine certain actions. So the first action I would recommend a man or a woman take is look important. In the book, I went through it just now, he says look important in a way of, a lot of us tend to wear, like I'm wearing Nike right now, right? It's a nice shirt, it's sporty, it's something I can wear on a Sunday with a pair of track pants and a nice clean pair of shoes, and I'll look like a decent person. Do I want to wear this to an executive meeting? No. I'm not going to be taken seriously. There's a time and a place for everything, and how we look actually dictates how people are going to perceive us. If you have self-respect in every situation and want to present, like I said, value and complement the situation, you will in turn have a higher outlook on yourself. If you're going to buy a suit, buy a $200 suit, don't buy a $100 suit. If you're going to buy a pair of shoes, buy the more expensive pair, don't buy the inexpensive pair. The reason why is because quality means more than quantity. Even if you have only a few clothes, you're not the richest person yet. But when people see you, they see somebody who has high value, has high self-respect in themselves. I mean, they're always clean, cleanly shaved, always on top of their game in that sense. Your appearance means a lot, because how you think is going to determine how you're going to dress, and how you dress and how you carry yourself is going to determine how people react to you. That mirror of people reacting to you is then going to affect up here. It's going to show you how people perceive you, and then that's going to make you perceive yourself in a better light. So that's the first step. The next one is think your work is important. So I know I'm not sure how my audience is if people are under 18, maybe not working as of yet, but if you do have a job, and whether you're in school, college, university, or you're in your career, a lot of us tend to say the 9-to-5 life is a dead end and blah, 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 blah. I have no comment on that. But we need to understand that a job is something that's paying our bills, and a job is something that's putting food on the table for our family. It's important. And with that job, we can then maneuver to other things such as investments or just putting the money to a savings bond, anything like that, whatever your personal agenda may be. Whatever you as a person are doing is extremely important, and you should be doing it to the best of your ability and competently at all times. There's no excuse for lack or failure in that sense. You need to actually take what you're doing very seriously. What's going to happen is when you take this action, you start looking at your work, saying, let's say you work at Walmart, but you start working at Walmart with the intention of, I need to take this extremely seriously. All of a sudden, you're in your produce section, you're culling, make sure you got all the fresh fruits to the front. You're doing things like your supervisor asking you. You're going to get a promotion or you're going to get a raise. People are like, oh, no, you may not, but you will. There's always going to be positive reactions from positive actions. Meaning, if you're going to be doing all that for Walmart, right? They don't want to give you a raise or a promotion. When you now go for a next job because you're so qualified, so competently good at the job that you're currently in, they're going to give you a beautiful reference, because they're going to say that you did everything without them having to ask you. And I'd bet you that they'd actually beg you to stay by offering you the raise. All right? So take your job very seriously. Next one, give yourself a pep talk. He used an example of a salesman who had a hard time selling cars. And when he was calling people to get people in the dealership, they weren't willing to come because of his voice. His thoughts affected his tone, and his tone was then conveyed to the customer, who was like, I don't need to respect you. Push over, bye, hang up. If you can then change the way in which you maybe like a ritual, something that you do before you're actually about to make the call, or before you're about to do your job, before you're about to do something that gives you anxiety, you're then going to have a better mental fortitude against it. You're going to be able to maneuver through and profit. With the different perspective that you have, you then have a higher degree of competence. Because if you give yourself a pep talk saying, I'm an amazing salesman, or I'm an amazing cashier, or amazing customer representative, or amazing doctor, or amazing lawyer, all of a sudden your performance is going to go higher, because that's echoing in your head over and over and over. Amazing. I'm an amazing stockbroker, amazing trader, whatever. You're going to have this different mentality now going into the situation. You're going to start looking at it like, I'm amazing at this. I can do this. And when you actually, excuse me, guys, when you actually genuinely do believe that, that's when different results have to come out, because you're going to now be, your whole posture, your whole way of being is going to change. You're going to go into the situation with a different mentality, knowing that you can actually do X, Y, and Z with no problems. So the problems that your old self may have had through old thought patterns are now replaced with more positive thought patterns, which bring you to another level on this physical realm. Does that make sense, guys? I hope it does. So the last thing, I'm going to read off the last chapter. I just want to give you guys a quote. He says for number 4, in all of life's situations, ask yourself, is this the way an important person thinks? Then obey the answer. If an important person, per se, was going to be fired from a minimum wage job, an important person is not going to care. An important person is going to say, well, I'm important, I can get another job, or I can just start my business, or maybe they already have something going. That's what an important person does. That's how an important person conveys themselves. If you're a guy, I'm going to use the example I gave at the start of the video. If you're a guy and you're about to talk to this girl that you think is beautiful, would an important person go talk to her, or would an important person be shy? Always do what an important person would do. Put yourself as your top priority. Make yourself your mental point of origin. This is in behavioral psychology as well, a little side off from the book. But what he's explaining in that chapter is literally behavioral psychology. Google it. If you have any issues in regards to how people treat you or how you feel about yourself, Google behavioral psychology, and it's going to convey everything that's said in this chapter. You're going to be able to now fix your mannerisms, fix your habits, and in turn change yourself through the actions that you take each day. If you have to think about the habits that you're doing each day, meaning think about, how do I tie my shoes? How do I put myself together? How do I shower? How do I give myself maintenance? How do I take care of my car? How do I take care of my room? When you start thinking about all these things and judging them and then trying to make improvements upon them, you as a person altogether improve, because that's now turning into new habits. And for those new habits to take place, you have to have new thoughts. New person is now the equation of that. All right? So that would be it for chapter 6, guys. We'll move on to chapter 7 tomorrow, of course. Please like, subscribe. If you have any questions at all, please just leave it in the comments for me. I'd be happy to answer anything. All right. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.